Boom shakalaka, investor sentiment drops off dramatically after Bitcoin falls through the pi cycle bottom support band to the downside, this blue line right here. Today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the worst case scenario for Bitcoin and some other charts that are very interesting to keep an eye on in case you have a little bit of a bull inside of you. You'll definitely want to stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at Bitcoin falling below the pi cycle bottom support band, what this means, where the price could go in the short term and the long term, the worst case scenario, and maybe a decent scenario if you're not a perma bear. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, come join us over on Twitter at the Crypto Love, push the like button, and let's get started. Now, Fear and Greed Index at 30, down from the 40s where we were last week. Overall market down 2%, Bitcoin at 23,478, Ethereum at 1848, BNB at 308, XRP 37 cents, Cardano 53 cents, Solana $40, and Dogecoin 8 cents. And if you want to know the top coins today on token metrics, we have Lido staked Ether, Just, OKB, Ethereum, and Shiba Inu. And you can check out token metrics in the description. Now, Bitcoin today falling below this blue line, the pi cycle bottom support band. So we can just go ahead and delete that because it's not important anymore. Right now, we are finding support above the 200 weekly moving average at this yellow line right here, roughly $23,000. If we were to break below there, the bottom of this bullish channel that we have been in since the middle of, was that June? So for a few months at this point, the bottom of that is $22,000. So we are still well within there, and there is a lot of support at this level where we are right now. Now, if we take a look at traditional markets, because sometimes Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies like to echo traditional markets. So we will start with this chart right here. Retail is bearish on the markets, watch out. Small trader put call premium peaked in June. As sentiment improves from very low levels, it has usually led to massive runs. Historically, when we had the put call premium dropping like it has previously after it peaked, look what happened after it peaked. Massive run up. After it peaked, massive run up. After it peaked, massive run up. Not only that, but if we take a look here, strong rally not yet deterring hedge funds as they continue to increase short positions in S&P 500 futures. Positioning is the most net short since summer 2020, and we all know what happened after that. Well, we have this right here from Dylan LeClaire. This is back on June when he was talking about Bitcoin. He was saying the bottom is in when the derivatives market is shorting Bitcoin into the dirt after the brunt of spot selling has taken place. What happens is as the price goes up, the shorts have to cover, or the people who have all the short positions have to cover their shorts, which further sends the price up higher. This could potentially happen with traditional markets, and as what happens with traditional markets happens with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on a much larger scale, we could see an absolutely massive run-up as these hedge funds have to cover their short positions. Because remember, hedge fund managers, they really aren't that smart. They may have financial degrees, but most of them just follow the herd. They just don't want to be the dumb hedge fund who lost everything. So they're just going to be following what everybody else does, and eventually they all get burned together. Now, if we take a look here, correlation between Bitcoin RSI and Bitcoin bottoms and highs. We can see traditionally on a 3-week RSI, there's first, second high, and then a bottom. And we had this in cycle 1, we had this in cycle 2, we had this in cycle 3, suggesting that where we were previously about a month or two ago was the bottom before we have more highs coming. If we take a look, don't get panicky just because the market corrects a little bit. Bitcoin has been in this RSI channel for 13 years, since 2013. So that's, what, 9 years already at this point? And every time it reaches the bottom of that, guess what? That's a bottom in Bitcoin price. If we take a look here, all macro cycles showing striking similarity. The macro pattern of exactly 3 dips to the rate of change indicator with a subsequent 2-year bull phase is somewhat impressive. We can see we have 1, 2, 3 drops on the rate of change, same thing that happened here in 2017 and 2020, all before a massive parabolic run-up in Bitcoin price. Right now, Bitcoin is very much on a rock climb. It's ready for another rock climb to the next new high. The 2050 EMA has a bullish cross. The RSI rising wedge, well, previously, this was the COVID bottom before the price ground up slowly before taking off parabolically. And if we take a look at the EMAs of the RSI, so this is the exponential moving averages of the relative strength index, we have the 10 EMA in blue and the 50 EMA in white, and we can see when they have crosses, they depict bears and bull phases. And this has happened time and time again. We are about to have another cross signaling a bull phase. With this right here, the Bitcoin acute angle sign. Each time we've previously had an acute angle sign for Bitcoin, guess what? The price went up by 3 candles from the last down candle before that acute angle. Now, this has also happened many times in the NASDAQ 2009, 2016, 2020, because we have much more data points in the NASDAQ than in Bitcoin. So this alone suggesting Bitcoin could head up to $120,000. And how long do we have to accumulate? Well, not that much longer. If we take a look here, the average market sentiment monthly for Bitcoin, we had between 3 months to 16 months to 12 months, depending upon the cycle. That gives us an average of 10 months. So it could last a year, it could last way shorter. And if we take a look at this is 2 sets of 6 EMAs each. The blue represents faster traders. The red represents slower investors. Look at the previous times we had blue cross over the red. Right here before parabolic run-up. Right here before parabolic run-up. Look at this. It's about to happen again before parabolic run-up. But I hear all you bears out there saying, but it's going to zero. And believe me, I hear you. You're all over the place. You're very, very vocal. Good for you. Okay? But TechDev saying, probably not a popular opinion, but Bitcoin dominance looks quite bearish to me on HTF. Each time it rejects off upper 3-week Bollinger Band and crosses basis, it at least visits the bottom Bollinger Band. Given their tightness, he can see another major leg down. Thinks Ethan also will surprise into 2023. Now, we had a bounce off the top, falling down, and then look at that massive runoff there. Well, same thing could potentially happen there, bouncing off the top, and then potentially another major runoff. Same thing that happened here and also here. So he could see another major leg down in the short term, but he still thinks Ethan also will surprise in 2023. Now, another worst case scenario for Bitcoin is this right here. We have this parabolic trend for Bitcoin. We also have this ascending bullish wedge right here. We have support structures that we have right here. Now, based on this, roughly $12,000 to $14,000 could be the bottom. And not only that, but if we take a look from an Ichimoku perspective, right now, this roughly in this band right here, roughly around $10,000 could be the support on the monthly Ichimoku. Shows strong support on the SSB, the strongest line in Ichimoku's system. Now, these are all likely scenarios for what could potentially happen. We could have it just go back down to this band where it is right now. We could have it go down to 14,000. We could have it go down to 12,000 to 10,000, or even to previous lows, 3,000, or even to zero, because anything could happen to Bitcoin. But me personally, I think right now there's a lot of support for Bitcoin between $17,000 and $10,000. If we take a look at bids in the Bitcoin order book on Coinbase, they're stacked down from $17,000 and below. A lot of people are hoping to buy Bitcoin lower. The last time the order book was skewed on the bid side was the grind up for the March 2020 lows. We can see, look at how yellow this is right here. Similar to back down here, the COVID bottom, which echoes this chart right here, the climb up from the COVID bottom. Very, very similar. We had a bunch of yellow lines stacked down here. Same thing we have stacked down here. For us to break through those yellow buy orders, there would have to be some massive cataclysmic events, not only affecting Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but also the rest of the markets. And that would pretty much send all assets tumbling. So if that were to happen, I would be very surprised. But as with anything, I never rule it all out. So that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love ya. Peace.